Welcome back to Daytime Auto. A big thanks to Larry. Fabulous song. You could see the emotions when he sang that song. And we're going to be talking to Larry a little bit later on as we move into World Mental Health Day as well. Have him back either before or on October the 10th. Well, our next guest, when it comes to, we talked about, you know, working your minds and good mental health. Well, educational toys for your kids after they get back to school can really help them continue on their education once they get home. And who better to have on the show and talk about educational toys than Marcia McQuarrie from the Noise on Toys. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. This is a great idea too, because I think a lot of us get caught with the screen time toys too often, and if you just introduce kids to the right toys, they'll fall in love with them. Right?
Yep, there's lots of great ones out there. So.
Well, let's talk. We mentioned we're talking science a little bit later on, and you turned to me right before we came on air and said we have to talk about this. Tell us.
I was saying we did talk about this. This is part of our Summer Toys article.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it's so excellent that we are repeating it in the education toys. Yeah, partly because when we looked at it, it was more in terms of exploring the outdoors. That was the gist of it. It's also a great sort of pre-microscope toy because it's got a lower magnification, but it still inverts the image. So it's easier, like that's very frustrating to kids, to like when you try to move it and it's going the wrong way and getting used to that. But this one, with it being at a slightly lower magnification than most microscopes, it's not quite as dramatic an effect, so it eases them into being able to use the microscope.
Well, I think it's so great because this is something that you're going to use in elementary school, high school, potentially even into your adulthood. I mean, you know, start them at a young age and they get the concept of it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the other excellent science kit.
Tell us about this.
It's
what
color
do you have
mixing.
Here?
Okay, so now you provide the food coloring. So you can either provide the stuff from the kitchen, or you can get some of the bath fizzies that don't color skin, which is a little bit easier to work with. But there's all sorts of exercises for mixing, and you can do it with either liquid waters, or you can do it with sort of the light through there, and they've got some glasses there.
Are these the protective goggles?
Well, no, actually, those are the ones that you can put the different color filters in, and
see what the combinations.
They're like lab glasses, though. I mean, that's
very cool.
Those are awesome.
And the other way is using the motion. If you spin it, then you can see how the colors blend. I'm not doing a very good job on the tablecloth.
Awesome. And then, okay, so we have this.
Okay, this is.
I'm curious because there's a balloon, a dead balloon hanging here.
What exactly is this?
Well, this is air power. Okay, rocket science made easy, and it's talking about how you can use the force of air to power things. And so when you blow this one up, when you let it go, the air goes that way and the car goes this way. With the I'm going to put this down here. But with the rocket ship, you blow it up, and again, when you let it go, the air going down pushes the rocket up.
Very cool.
And the one that's actually kind of cool is the hovercraft as well. So when you attach the one from there, it moves from one device to the other, and you blow it up and you put it on here. Now, if you just let the air go out of it, it's just going to sort of sit there. It doesn't look like it's doing much. You have to give it a little bit of a shove. And it glides. It's like air hockey, right? So it glides. But if the way you can compare it is you try the same thing without the air, and it just sort of goes a few feet, and that's about it. So you can really see the difference. This was part of it.
And this is the one that's catching my eye, Math Tracker.
That is a very, very, very basic no-frills unit. And if you turn it on, it's just literally got the black and white, the black graphics, and it'll give you the equation, like 5 times 3 equals, and then you just punch in 15, and you keep going. So it's a speed thing. You're trying to get as many as you can done.
And this one would be great for the kids in the car. You know, if you have a long road trip, it's something small that they can.
Oh, it's like a little carabiner there. Yeah,
so you can just stick it on things. It's very, very portable. So what I like about it and the testing families is that it gives you the privacy to practice these things without, when you had the card, somebody would go, oh, that's wrong. But you can do it on your own, and it's private, and nobody knows.
That's excellent. What about this one? This one caught my eye as well, because it looks like a little bit of Canadiana
It is. There's two. There's Explore the World, and then they have a completely Canadian version, Explore Canada, as well. And they're the same kind of premise. It's a bit of trivia, but it's also other things. So they're in the world, Explore the World, it's flags of all different countries. This is sort of the various provinces and so on. And on the other side, you identify which province, or Canada, and then there's little questions about that flag.
I could learn something there.
I was the worst in history, and I mean something like that's interactive, and you can do with the family after school's done, and it's enjoyable.
Because you forget some of them.
You do forget.
I bet you I couldn't name all the provincial flags.
Sure.
I'm embarrassed to say.
No,
I don't know if I could. I just threw myself under the bus there. I shouldn't do that. Let's talk about robot turtles. Tell me about this one.
Robot turtles has been hyped as sort of a game, sort of pre-programming skills game.
Okay.
And so on. So it's a fairly simple game, but the actual beauty of that game is they do an excellent job of guiding parents into introducing games. So they start very simple, and they give you advice on how to include other elements.
Okay.
When you start, all you're really doing is you have your marker, and you're trying to get from one square to another, and you can go sideways or forward, but you have to turn the turtle in the direction. And you use cards to say, this is where I want him to go next, and you lay them out. And so you've got a mini program there, right?
Oh, I
so that's
see.
at the very basic level. When you get, as they master that level and move on to open up other levels, eventually you have little obstacles and so on, and you have to plan it in advance in your head and lay down the cards, so you don't have the mechanical to go with it.
Really testing the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're learning a little programming.
Yeah.
And I have to, okay, this one, it looks almost like a little mini laptop or computer.
Yeah.
It is. This is the InnoTab baby, so that's what it looks like together. Now this comes, it's basically the InnoTab format, so a lot of the functions of their previous ones they have. Now this fits inside that.
Okay.
Right? And so you have the protective covering for the baby. And that's why.
I see.
But I was just showing that this is what it's like when you take it out for the older kids. It's the smaller unit.
So I saw this one online, and it was, I read that it progresses with the level of your child.
Right,
so
because you're purchasing software to download for.
I see.
Right,
okay.
and you get the games that your child's interested in, plus the games that are their age appropriate.
So that's so great because I was driving by on my street the other day, and I saw one of my neighbors had tons of toys in the garbage, and you're thinking, the amount of money that's tossed away from buying toys. This is something that you could keep for a few years.
Well, they've recommended this for ages 1 to 9.
To 9.
So
That's a long time.
Going right up to 9 years of age, and so even older than that when by the time they're playing the games.
Marcia, you're always looking for families?
Absolutely.
To get involved?
It's a bit quiet at this time of year until
it?
we start gearing up next year. I mean, we're just
Well, you have board games coming up too, right?
Yeah,
In
we're
just
still
a little
doing a
bit?
few of those, and we had the holiday article, but most of those are in, actually we have a huge distribution coming up right now, and right before I came there was like a skid of toys that I get to open when I get home.
Yeah, it's
so
like
yes,
Christmas for you many times a year.
Oh, yes,
and for the
absolutely.
families that review. So you can visit the Noise on Toys website if you and your family would like to review toys. And basically you get it for a certain period of time, and you get to rotate new toy after new toy.
Yep.
Why did my mom sign up for this program?
It's what
I thought I was a kid.
It's what a lot of people like about it, because as you said, they do not want to accumulate the toys, and they have them for 2 months, so that's generally enough, and if they want them for longer, it's a good buy.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, that's a great point. Thanks so much, Marcia.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming on the show as usual.